The year 2018 saw the birth of girls captioning their Instagram posts with City Girl or even calling themselves City Girls, but the original City Girls were Young Miami and JT. After their big break in 2018, they seemed to be all over our screens and we couldn't get enough of them. It seemed like the City Girls were here to stay for a very long time, but we were wrong because JT announced that the City Girls would be breaking up after their new album. Apparently, it seems like the split is because of Young Miami, because that's what JT's hinting at, while Young Miami is implying that it's JT's selfishness. So what exactly is the reason for the breakup, and is JT really being selfish? Well, let's get into the video to find out.
I'm so excited. Okay, so no bars. Carisha, please.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I want to know, because you know how much we love y'all together, when is this new album coming out? And is there a new album
It's
coming
this month. It's this month.
We got another exclusive. We got an album coming out this month.
October 20th?
October 20th.
Can we say the name of it?
Please, let's give me the
We might as
I
well.
need the exclusive.
You could say what it's called, and I'm gonna get the abbreviation.
We getting it back here, y'all.
It's called Raw.
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 Is it rich or real? But it's both. It's rich, real ass horse.
No, it's real ass horse.
Real ass horse. Raw. R-A-W.
And I'm with some real asshole.
It looks like it's finally official. City Girls are breaking up after releasing one last album. So, as we all know, they recently announced that they're releasing an album that's been complete for years now, and JT also revealed that she would be going solo, but it looks like this wasn't a decision that JT and Young Miami made together. According to the source, Young Miami doesn't want the group to break up because she's now dragging JT for being selfish and betraying her, while JT is saying the group broke up because Young Miami was the first one to stop paying attention to it. And it seems like JT does have a point. If there is one thing that's certain, is that this breakup is going to be very messy because the two parties involved are already dragging each other. So you can rest assured that there will be drama. Rumors of the group splitting have been going around for 2 years now, but those are all just rumors. Now we have confirmation about the split. JT herself has confirmed that she'll be pursuing a solo career. But the thing is, there are artists who have solo careers outside of their group without leaving the group. Take Quavo, for example, who still has a solo career, but he's never left the group. So JT using the excuse that she wants to pursue a solo career doesn't sit well with people. JT hasn't said anything more about the City Girl split, so that means it must be true then, but it's not a new thing. Groups do break up all the time, even if they're just a group of two like the City Girls. But I'm sure everyone can agree that we expected the City Girls to last longer than they did, and if they did break up, it would have been further down the line, not so soon. Because if you think about it, they only started making big waves in 2018 when they appeared in Drake's In My Feelings, and they were smart enough to use that attention to push their career. For those who don't know, Young Miami and JT have been friends since they were teenagers. They started their rap careers together and they used to perform in strip clubs when they were 17. But not long after they started, JT was arrested and convicted of aggravated identity theft, and she was sent to prison. It was the worst timing ever because it was only a couple of weeks after Drake dropped In My Feelings, and the City Girls were getting much attention on social media. At first, people expected that Young Miami would ditch JT and go on as a solo artist because it was a sentence of 2 years. And that was when they had finally gone mainstream, so everyone thought the logical thing Young Miami would do was to ride on fame alone. The thing is, no one would have blamed Young Miami, but she didn't do any of that. Young Miami stayed 10 toes behind JT and proved a solid friend. For the 2 years that JT was in prison, Young Miami basically carried City Girls alone. She'd do all the performances alone and would even pay DJs and clubs to play City Girls music out of her own pocket. And if she talked about the City Girls, she made sure JT would get recognized as well. JT didn't take all of Young Miami's efforts for granted because when she came out of prison in 2022, she was very grateful to Young Miami for holding it down for her, and in her song First Day Out, she rapped, "I've been a real B since before the feds came. Young Miami held me down, and that is a bitch ace, and if a B tries her, it is a cold case." I mean, after that, it was normal for everyone to think that they were gonna stick together for a very long time. But last year, fans started to notice that there seemed to be tension between the two women because it seemed like Young Miami no longer had JT's back like she used to, because in public she made it seem like she didn't want to be seen with JT. People were speculating that maybe it was because Young Miami was dating P. Diddy. So perhaps she began to feel she was on a different level than JT. And if we're being honest, Young Miami having a situationship with P. Diddy did give her more opportunities than JT had at the time. For example, Young Miami started her Caresha Please brand, where she sold clothes, merchandise, and a whole lot of other stuff. She also started her talk show Caresha Please on Diddy's Revolt TV, for which she won a BET award. Now, don't misquote us. It's not like JT was or is doing badly. I mean, she has been in a relationship with Lil Uzi Vert for a while, and she's securing the bag too. Still, it's evident that Young Miami's association with Diddy has given her a substantial advantage compared to JT, and she's definitely more popular than JT. Also, recently, Young Miami hardly shows JT love on social media like she used to, because fans notice that whenever JT gets into a fight or argument online, Young Miami never says anything. I mean, if I were Young Miami, I think I would be tired of always trying to fight on behalf of my friend. I would instead only want to get involved in some of the situations. But the thing is, whenever Young Miami gets into an argument online, JT is always right behind her. For example, when JT and Cardi B got into it last year, Cardi B called her out on Twitter, saying, "So wait, me and you talking in the DM woman to woman, but you take it to your timeline and throw shots calling me a bully and a whiner? Why are you playing dumb? Why are you talking about talent? You forgot P tried to put me on with your writer?" Cardi B clowned her for being a prison head and not having a hit through all of it. Young Miami stayed silent, and when she was asked why she did not come to JT's defense, her excuse was that she was asleep. Girl, you could have come up with a better reason. What did she mean by she was asleep? She slept the entire day and the day after? But the reverse was the case when Young Miami was being clowned online after Diddy had a baby last year. Diddy's side piece came online and dragged Young Miami because Diddy had a baby with someone who was not her. JT wasted no time in coming to Young Miami's defense when she tweeted, "He sent you to the chop shop, sit this one out." There's also the fact that JT was not at Young Miami's birthday in February, and it seems like Young Miami's focusing more on her personal brand, and the City Girl brand doesn't seem to matter anymore to her. Last year, she even tweeted that she had retired from rap. It was at that point that people started to suspect that the City Girls were splitting, and the rumors even got stronger when JT unfollowed the City Girls' official Instagram page. She also had this interview where she hinted that City Girls would break up. Honestly, the look on her face gave the answer away, but she didn't want to directly answer the question. I guess there's no need for JT to beat around the bush any longer because she just announced that she would be releasing a solo EP. She's not even wasted any time as she started referring to herself as a solo artist, and from what's going on, it doesn't look like it'll end well for City Girls, because Young Miami doesn't like the fact that JT wants to become a solo artist. Young Miami feels betrayed because she feels JT's being selfish. After all, when JT was in prison, Young Miami held the group together. Still, it just seems unfair that Miami's blaming JT. After all, if we really look at it, Miami's why JT wants to break up with the group, because recently, Miami has stopped focusing on the group and instead on her own brand. If Miami paid attention to the music as she did in the beginning, maybe JT wouldn't have been interested in letting the group split up. So what do you think? Is Young Miami the reason the group is splitting up, or is JT actually being selfish? Let me know what you think and leave your thoughts in the comments below.